Zoom live?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it looks like it's working. Streaming live on Facebook.
Yay.
It says it's set. One says Zoom says it's streaming live. That says it's setting it up. So I'm waiting to see that it's there. Meeting is streaming live. Just make sure.
I can go on Facebook and find out.
Yep, that's what I'm doing now.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna pop in and make sure we're there.
And is it under, which one is it under?
It's in the Resilient AF Midlife Mamas.
Okay.
And the answer is we are there. Okay. We're on. Cool.
We are?
We are on. Yay.
Excellent. I don't see it in the Facebook though, but okay. I'm
It shows
game.
up and it's got a little bit of a delay. So I'm not going to look at it because it'll
Okay.
kind of freak me out if I watch the delay. Hi.
Hi.
Welcome. I'm so glad that worked. Yay, yay, yay. So, so excited to chat with you about hormones and this new course that you're doing because
Yeah.
it just looks so exciting. Um, and so first, tell us who you are.
I'm Susan Martz, Susan Santoro Martz. I like to use my maiden name. Sometimes I wonder why we even gave away our maiden name, but anyway, that's a whole nother subject.
We can have
Another
that
for
conversation.
the females. Oh my gosh, I've had a long career of dancing and singing and Broadway and doing, the outward movement. And then I found yoga once I started moving away from theater and thinking about being a mother and settling in a little bit. So then I started an inward journey through yoga, still was in my body. I had to be in my body because that's just my blueprint. And then I had a son and I've been doing the mama thing, sort of like you, kind of running tandem with you.
Yep.
And going through all the hormonal shifts that happen at this, 50 and older stage. And I think anywhere you are on the spectrum of, coming into your period and leaving your period runs a whole gamut of hormones and what we as females go through.
Mm.
So I kind of went off on a tangent there, but that's why I decided to do the hormones because we're all in different phases and we're all affected by it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Did that
know
answer your question?
it did answer my question. Well, I just wanted people to have a sense of who you are, and you are in our group. So you're also, resilient as fuck, which is cool. So that's how
I'm
we keep going.
trying.
And I guess where I'm really struggling, I'm in the phase of like, I guess it's the perimenopause thing
Yeah.
because I'm not done. I think last year I had my cycle come through twice.
Hello.
And I was like, all right, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. And now it's like regular again.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Like, I'm ready to move to the next phase, but
I
my
know.
body clearly isn't. So
Yeah,
it's such a puzzle.
it is. And I was like that too. I was like, oh, I just want to get this over with. And then once I realized it was over, I actually had to mourn the process of, oh, I'm no longer really fertile, or I'm not going to, offer to the human race anymore. Like I have no more to birth from as far as hormones and the female physical body. Now, on an emotional level, of course, I have more to birth and more to express as a woman in the world. There's a hell of a lot more to do, but I had to mourn that, oh, I'm not going to bleed anymore, or I'm not going to like cleanse. Like I really sometimes
Mm.
enjoyed the cleanse of a period of menstruation it felt like it was just moving out all kinds of stuff.
Stop.
men in my life, just emotions I had around sex and the emotional, physical connection of sex and all that. So I mourned it. I mourned it.
I wonder if I'll get there. Right now, I'm just celebrating the idea of it.
Yeah. Well, like my headaches, my migraines went away. So I celebrated that.
Ah,
I suffered with migraines every 2 weeks, actually, as I was perimenopause. And
okay.
then once I stopped getting my period, I was like, oh, no more headaches. Nice. So
Yeah.
there's much to enjoy about it. And then there's the,
So on the other side of it, do you still get like the night sweats and the hot
you know what I
flash?
get? I actually get in the morning when I first, like, not even when I wake up and my eyes are closed, but as soon as my eyes open, there's a flush of heat that goes through my body. And I believe, and I've never really actually looked into the eye hormonal connection. I imagine it has to do with the hypothalamus pituitary pineal gland, but I never actually looked at that and asked or researched it. But I do get a flush that happens throughout my body, heat. Um, but I'm not a hot flasher. Every once in a while, and I think that might be food related. If it
Mm,
triggers a hormonal response, I might flash, but
okay.
flash. but but I'm not one of those, who goes through it all the time. No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just starting to.
Are you starting to? Is that what you said?
I'm starting to get a little bit of the occasional flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm
Do you sweat or you just get like flushed?
I get flushed. It's
Yeah,
more of a
that's
flush.
yeah,
And I'll feel like I just need a pause.
right.
I'm just
Right.
like, whoa, what was that? They're still
Yeah.
new. So
Yeah.
it just overcomes me, and I just need a few minutes to kind of breathe into it and realize, okay, this is just my body doing its thing,
Yeah.
and accept and embrace.
Trying to normalize. That's what your
Yeah.
body's trying to do, is normalize its temperature because it got thrown an imbalance curve, and it's trying to recalibrate and come back to alignment. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things. Like sometimes I can actually still feel phantom cycles. So I'll be like, oh, a little crampy. How could I be crampy? I'm not even menstruating,
Ah, yeah.
or I might get a small headache, and go, oh, like a couple of days in a row. And I think, oh, I wonder if that's, my body's still in the phantom phase of that. Um, and then sometimes I'll even have a period of a restless sleep, or I'll be really tired. I'll fall asleep. Something will wake me up and then I'll be wide awake and I can't fall asleep for yeah. It's like I go into,
Yeah.
it's maybe an hour later and I wake up. So it's almost like as if I had a nap and okay, let's get going, but it's, 1 a.m. in the morning.
And the
So
most amazing ideas come at that hour.
wow,
So I'm
for me, it's
finding I need to
worry.
keep right. I need to keep the phone by me, and like, and then once I start doing that, it's really hard to fall back asleep, right? But
Right.
but when I have those moments, I'm like, it just pours out. So
Nice. That's awesome. For
so
me, I
what?
just loop. I worry.
Uh,
What's my kid doing? I go into the, what's he up to, and all that.
right. Well, and at that hour, I know we've talked before. Our kids are probably wide awake, still gaming.
Yeah, fully engaged in the
Yeah,
world. Yeah.
yeah.
And on a oh, what's it called? The umbilical sort of connection, we can't not it's almost impossible for me to literally disconnect from that, knowing that he's wide awake, that he's not getting the serotonin, dump that he needs, or the nighttime hours that his body needs, between 10 and 2 a.m. for the cleanses of the liver and all that goes on. with your body during nighttime sleep.
Which is a whole nother hormonal conversation that could be had just about our teens
Yeah.
and how this is affecting their hormones when they're keeping those hours.
Yes.
I know we had our oldest checked, and the D3 was like completely like bottomed out. So yeah, that's but today
Yeah, and
we're
now it's
talking
at
about
a
us.
and now it's at a stage where you can't say, okay, take your vitamins, you can't set it
Right.
out, there's just no, you can't. You have to actually watch the demise happen of their
Right.
body and hormones.
And you mentioned food before, and they're not usually typically watching their food in the same way that we might be because they're
And we raise them on green drinks and, probiotics and everything. And now well, I know my son has swung completely. And everyone says, oh, don't worry, you've instilled that. But I'm at this stage where I'm going, please, God, please.
well, yeah. I mean, and it's my middle one. I'm seeing coming back to that a little bit as much as they can, but
Right.
my oldest, not as much. They're in a heavy sourdough baking phase right now.
Right.
So
Literally sourdough. Like somebody said to me, your son has to go through his angry stage or his,
rebellious.
you know, I don't know what you want to call it, whatever they're in, they have to go through it. Everything is bad. Everything's angry. Everything's wrong.
Right. And right now the world we're living in
Oh, yeah.
is got this extra layer of challenge. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that's and it's interesting that we landed on talking about the kids, because I think that our hormones are also very affected by what's going on with our teenagers
Yes.
and our young adults as we're raising them, and the stress level that puts on us, and how that affects our cortisol levels, and all that.
Yes.
So what can we do?
So there's a yoga. I'm kind of speaking from a yogic point of view, only because that's where again, that's my blueprint. And that's where I always move from the body. The adrenals, sit here in the body, right, like sort of mid thoracic back, behind the ribs, even maybe a little bit lower than the upper back, but they kind of sit right there. And what I like to do, and we can't really do it on this call because, I mean, people at home could probably do it. What you want to do is find a wall space in your home, quiet space, lay a blanket or a mat out, and then put your legs up on the wall and just let the sort of the gravity pull the energy down into the body and then down into the earth. So the blood is moving away from the feet, but you're also, because you're laying on your back and your legs are up the wall, you can really ground this part of the body, the adrenals, down into the floor. Plus, what you're going to find when you do it is the whole body does this sort of, I mean, in the group, the Aroma Flow Circle group that I have, there was a woman that commented and she said, oh my God, I didn't realize how much I actually needed that. Because when you think of it from a physical point of view, it's like, oh, legs up the wall, and that's going to be, that's going to take effort. But when you actually do it and you put your legs up the wall and then you just feel your whole body down into the earth, there's a wave of calm and release that comes over the body. And that's what we need to counterbalance these cortisol firings that we do on a daily. From the minute this morning when I woke up at 7 a.m., I was like, where's my kid? What's he doing? Is he awake? Is he asleep? Is he okay? So we're in that place as mothers. And we need to take time to release. And that's a really, really good yoga posture to do. I actually add cypress. And you know what? I brought my cypress oil out. I could not find it for the life of me. So I use cypress because cypress helps with the circulatory system. We want to get energy moving.
So you put it over the adrenals.
Yeah, over the adrenals. You
It's
could do that
interesting because I use cypress on my legs to work
on
on
your legs.
circulation, and I'm also thinking about lymphatic drainage.
Yes. Yes. So skin brushing.
Multi-purpose.
Do you skin brush? Do you know skin brushing?
Your sister taught me years ago.
Yes. Yes.
And I do when I remember. I'm not
Right.
consistent enough.
Well, I have recently been reminded because I had a thermograph done. Instead of a mammogram, I do a thermograph. And they gave me a free brush. And I said, okay, I got to really, stick to this. And every night before I jump in the shower, I dry skin brush. And that gets the lymph system. Really important for under the arms to down into the breast. Also good under the breast, like you brush inward. There's certain ways you're supposed to brush with the skin brush, but
it's such nice self-care. It feels so good.
Funny you should say that because I don't like the feeling of it.
Really?
Yeah, it bothers my skin. Maybe I'm too aggressive.
Or maybe the brush is not broken in well, or
I don't know.
yeah.
But I'm like, okay, I got to endure this.
See, to me, it's like it's sort of like getting this, it's like that back scratch kind of thing.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think everybody's different.
Yeah, for sure. So I like that. And then you mentioned the other day something about bending over like a rag doll.
Yeah, that's a really good one. You have to make sure you're not going through any high blood pressure issues. Also, oh my gosh, glaucoma, things like that, where there's strain on the upper part of the body. So you don't want to do completely over. You could do things that are more, even from your chair, just sort of this way, where you're not actually putting your head below your heart.
I do that all the time.
You do that?
I stand and I lean over my bed.
Yeah.
So I don't go all the way down, but my head is definitely lower than my heart.
Good.
And I like stretch out that way.
Good. Good.
It's like my morning stretch. Yeah.
Nice. Like a cat or a dog.
Yep.
It's like doing a downward dog. You're just not on the mat doing fully down. But the one that I'm talking about, because the seat of the hormonal system the seat of most everything is in the brain, which is the hypothalamus, the pituitary, the pineal. Really, they all talk to each other and work with each other. It's like the mastermind, of the whole entire body, but more, we're talking about hormonal system. So what you can do actually, and you're certainly welcome to do it. And I actually like to, because I'm an oiler, I like to take my frankincense and, take a drop in the palm of the hand. And if you don't have frankincense,
I have my memory release blend that has
nice,
frankincense
or
in
brain power, you could do that one too, or clarity.
That's what's in the diffuser. I'm good. I'm covered.
Nice. And yeah, we take a drop and we just activate the oil. And the reason I use essential oils is because it actually, because you're working with the olfactory, you're now stimulating the pineal, pituitary, hypothalamus on a whole nother sensory level. So it's all going, everybody's firing. And so what I do is I breathe it in, start activating the olfactory.
Oh, it smells so good.
And then I also like to actually rub it on the crown of my head, the crown chakra, and even the third eye chakra, which is related to the third eye, is all connected to these centers of the brain. And you can also put it on that very, very soft gully, right below the brain, right below the skull. There's a little soft gully where you can put oils to actually.
I love that spot.
Yeah, move up into the brain.
I massage oils into that a lot during the day. I find that so relaxing.
Yeah, it is. And even just feeling the suture lines of the skull, like just rubbing where the suture line. I used to do that a lot when I got my migraines. So if you really take time to find those suture lines, you can get in. You can actually
my little tickler thing. Do you have one of those funky things that tickle.
Yes.
That makes me want one of those now.
So, from if you're sitting in your chair and you don't want to stand up, you can actually do it from your chair and sort of roll yourself down.
Okay.
But make sure you separate your legs so that you can
Okay.
roll between your legs. The idea is to get all that blood and energy rushing into the head. Again, providing you don't have any contraindications of high blood pressure and issues that you can't create more pressure in the head.
I was going to say my head feels like whoosh, but I think I'm in that premenstrual phase right now.
Yeah.
So.
So once you're down there, you want to breathe into your back. And if you feel like you want to stand up, just lift your buttocks off the seat and you'll feel the difference of completely releasing all the way over.
I have this tiny little office.
And I know, try to do it next to your desk. But if this feels too intense, soften your knees and you'll really feel the lower back spread and you can bring breath into your back. But the idea is to let yourself hang.
Okay.
And let all that blood rush into the head and stimulate and bring blood into those areas of the glands, the hormonal glands of the brain. Once you're done, you want to slowly, and you can do this for about 3 minutes. I mean, you can really hang here for a while. But when it feels done, start to roll your way back up very slowly, especially if you have low blood pressure issues. You want to, make sure the blood comes out of the head very slowly.
Oh, that felt really good.
Yeah, doesn't it? It just wakes up the spine and brings blood into the head. I mean, that's what you're basically doing with a lot of yoga postures, and especially with the squeezing ones. When we do postures that go and they squeeze, kind of the whole body, it's because we actually want to sort of wring out the body and then let it release and let the blood flow in. So we're creating energy, nutrients, there's a whole laundry list of things that yoga creates for the body. And another quick one is, I keep bumping into my table. Another quick one is to just, if you sit up nice and tall, this one also you can do with cypress or lemon. Very simple oil, but it helps create blood flow. And this is just a spinal twist. So you want to sit on the edge of your chair, and then you just simply turn to your left or your right, depending on which way feels right for you, and take hold of the back of the chair or down below, wherever it feels good, and use your opposite arm on your thigh, your outer thigh. Bring your head all the way around and help yourself gently squeeze to the side. Take a full breath here. And as you exhale, go a little deeper. Bring your chin past your shoulder and your eyeballs past your chin. And then slowly release. Come back around. Yeah, and then around to the other side. This is actually for the pancreas, which is a really good posture to create stimulation and flow through the pancreas. Inhale, exhale, squeezing around. Bring your chin past your shoulder, eyeballs past your chin. So you're creating sort of this Kundalini effect. Spiraling up, the energy moving up. Exhale. Every exhale, you can go a little deeper.
Deeper, okay.
And then, yes, and then on the last exhalation, you can slowly release and come back around.
They have such a different feeling after you giving that visual of the squeeze.
Yes.
I could almost picture, like, I don't know, all the good stuff just being like moved.
Yeah, because you're actually bringing the blood flow back into the body. It's really, the pancreas, it's like It's deep in the body, but it sort of resides just behind the stomach. And it's important in converting food, the food we eat, and to use for fuel for the body. And it also helps regulate blood sugar, which is, a big piece of hormone function
Right.
and enzymes. It's a very important hormone to support.
So in the course,
Hormone
do
plant.
you, I know you do yoga. Do you also, and I'm guessing you use oils,
Yes.
and do you also talk about food?
Yeah. So actually, in the course that I'm offering, I talk about food triggers and then food support. So a lot of food triggers, which we all know, sugar. I always tell people try not to eat white food, which is usually dairy, white flour, but to like go more toward green. Go green, go green, because that the body just feeds off of it more, and it doesn't have to work to try to absorb it, digest it. It can actually do the work it's meant to do, which is use the nutrients you're feeding it and then find balance. But yeah, I mean, in the course, there's all kinds of ideas of foods to eat. I mean, do you notice a difference when you eat chocolate? you know, I get
Yeah.
headaches.
Yeah, I get headaches. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
In a nutshell.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So like for the pancreas, you might use more lemon in your, like do lemon water. I talk about, using apple cider vinegar for more of the cleansing of the organs, balancing blood sugar, creates more antioxidants, um, just helping the lymphatic system as well. Foods are just so important.
And yeah, the lymphatic system is something I definitely, I also had the thermography done, and that was something that they red flagged on mine, was that my lymphatic system needed some movement.
Oh, make sure
So,
you're dry brushing.
yeah, I need to be more
Did you do it
consistent with that.
recently? Did you have it?
This was last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but in our new gym, I did set up the little rebounder. So,
Nice.
hoping to get back onto that soon.
Nice.
And
Excellent.
that's that jumping is really helpful,
Right.
if my knees can handle it.
Yeah,
So,
totally. Totally.
so
Um, and
yeah,
the other thing I talk about a little bit is, maybe supplemental support. I have a link in there that leads to supplemental support because we do need the supplements. We've sort of lost well, we have lost, not sort of, we've lost the nutrients in our foods. And especially
yeah,
if you're not getting organic food, and even organic food, you have to get it from the right source to even know if it's organic these days. You really have to do your due diligence to find your sources of support. But, antioxidants are really key, like vitamin C, and especially now zinc is really important.
right.
Um, Vitamin D, super, super important. But, with the company that you and I work with, they have a great thyroid supplement, Thiamine. And then, of course, there's the oils that you can use for the thyroid. This one's an outstanding oil, Endoflex.
And
I actually, when I was using Endoflex, noticed my libido shifted back. I was
ah,
like, oh, nice.
roll that stuff on.
Was just
I use the Endoflex every morning on my neck, and then I put it over my adrenals.
good. So, what you can do is actually sandwich it.
Ah, okay.
You can put it all the way around because
Right.
and here's another piece that I had wanted to mention was that when you work with the chakra system, you're now also working with the hormonal system. So once you get those wheels spinning and the energy flowing throughout each, like for the throat chakra, if one tends to be an introvert or is having trouble voicing themselves or their creative energy in the world, you're going to have thyroid issues. It's just the two go hand in hand energetically. So there's a wonderful website, or excuse me, YouTube a subscription to, I have a YouTube subscription to Meditative Mind, and they do all the chakras, and they do the meditation around each chakra, and you just lay there and you just bring awareness, bring energy. I even use
Okay.
my Healy device with which is the frequencies, and I
Right.
get the frequencies moving around each chakra, use my oils around each chakra. I'm a total like granola mama.
I love it.
I know
I
you do.
love it.
That's why we're such good friends.
Well, I'm excited to jump into this course and get
It's 8 days. We just go
okay.
like,
I loved that it was only 8 days because that's about my like bandwidth right now.
yeah. Well, and each day you're focusing on one hormone, like one hormone gland, I should say,
Okay.
and what it does for you, and what yoga posture you can do, and what oil you can use, and what, you know, um, music you can use. I use vibration too. So there's a vibration music where you can put it in your ears and just like breathe and meditate on the vibration for that chakra.
So now you also have a course that's a little longer.
That's the chakra, the
That's the chakra one.
7 weeks.
That's 7 weeks. I've been a little nervous about that one. seven
So
weeks
each
feels like a
week,
long time.
I know,
But
each week you do a whole one chakra that you focus on. You wear red that week, you eat red food, that's like for the root chakra. And then you do affirmations every day. You do yoga, a different posture every day. I teach you. Doesn't take a lot. That's the thing, is like you
okay.
jump in, you do like the 5-minute yoga with me, and then you're on with your day.
Okay.
And then you come back the next day, you do 5 minutes of yoga with me, and then you might read
All
at
right,
your
I may have to try that one too.
yeah. And then I do 30 days of meditation. There's that one too.
That one I did. I did love that one.
Yeah. You just sit and you
Yeah.
breathe for 5 minutes. I mean, we all need that.
So much.
And it's all interconnected. So whatever we're doing in our life connects to the hormonal system, connects to the chakra system, connects to the organs, everything. Everything's connected, not one separate from the other.
Yep. Yep. So we need to make sure to put all of your links
Sure.
on this.
It's really just
It's
aromaflowcircle.com.
just everything is at the Aroma Flow Circle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All those courses are.
Okay.
The 30 days of meditation is a free course. Getting into the Aroma Flow Circle is free, and there's lots of free stuff, 5-minute yoga moments that you can do with me. But then there's courses. So if you want to, and the courses are, maybe 10, maybe $20. So it's really not, it's just to cover the time and the energy and this holding the space for it.
Cool. Well, I'm so glad that you came and chatted with me.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so much to talk about.
I know we could talk forever. Well, you'll be back. I know you'll be back because you're part of the group, and I know that I would love to tap into doing some meditation and maybe even a little chair yoga for those of us that are in our chairs all day. I thought those might be fun. So,
I'm actually doing a summit with Barney. He does the summit every year, and I'm actually doing one called Virtual Aroma Flow Yoga, which is helping support us with Zoom fatigue, because we all have Zoom fatigue.
Oh yeah.
Which is really, a generalization of, we just have online fatigue, because the one thing is that, we can't take the cues we get from the nonverbal cues we get from each other when we're together. So we don't even have eye contact, you and I, right now.
Right.
If you notice, we think we do, but we don't. In order to have eye contact, I need to be looking up at my camera up there, but now I'm not looking at you.
Right.
And if you were to look up at your camera, you're not looking at, it's just, we toggle. So we actually have the connection. It's very stressful.
Well, we don't have, and our energy isn't connecting.
Yeah.
Interesting times we're in.
I think honestly, it's taking us to a more telepathic level. I think we're going to have to be made to drop in and feel others from a distance.
Yeah.
That's my Susan
I get it.
philosophy of the day.
Well, thank you so much. This has
My
been
pleasure.
so awesome.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Mwah. We'll talk soon.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for joining me. In yoga, we say namaste, which means I honor the light, the divine, the love in you that also resides in me. Namaste, everybody.
Bye.
Mwah. Bye.
Bye.